Welcome to WKRP Montrose, a radio station masquerading as a podcast about Montrose, Colorado and the Western Slope, recording live from the Clear Network studio in downtown Montrose, Colorado. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WKRP Montrose. I'm not in frame. Wait, which way do I go to be?
That's fine.
I go that way to be in frame.
People are okay with it.
They are?
With you not being in the frame, yeah, absolutely.
Can you show everybody your readers that you stole from somebody that you've got hanging off of your neck? No?
Look, this is going to make you look silly.
Look at it.
Can you not see this?
What does it say?
Can you see it?
It says Puke Fest. Is that a Puker t-shirt that we had on the show?
Yes, because Puker is a...
That actually makes me not feel bad about the fit, but the shirt. The shirt is nice.
The shirt's amazing.
It's cool.
And it was from Puke Fest, which is also known as Mark Puker's birthday. Which I was invited to because obviously Mark and I are good buddies.
Are close friends. He's a friend of the show.
He's a friend of the show. He's also a friend of mine. I didn't see you at Puke Fest.
No, I'm not Puker's friend.
Oh, I was going to say, you couldn't make it that day?
No, I couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
But if you haven't seen Puker's episode with Donnie, strap in, honestly, put on your seatbelt.
This T-shirt kind of represents that episode in some ways. But the whole point was they had these printed up, and then
did you dry it?
They had a tie-dye station.
Did you put it in the dryer or something?
What do you mean?
I mean, it looks a little,
Do you iron clothes? I haven't ironed anything in 20 years.
No, I'm just saying, like, why did you go with an extra small then? Like, what happened?
That's not funny. That's the thing. It's
funny to me.
No, let's hold ourselves.
You know who else it would be funny to? Our lovely sponsors at Clear Networks. Look at that cool sticker that I got when we were at the fall festival.
Love Clear
in Fruta. They're amazing.
Yeah, we also have.
They have internet everywhere.
We have another sponsor that we will mention today, but we won't be using their product. So Pomona.
Oh, really?
Usually give us beer.
Well, it's a morning show.
It's a morning show. Yeah. Which is why I have coffee to be able to deal.
Is that what's in the cup?
To deal with Dennis.
Is that what's in the cup?
Honestly, I might put some of that Storm King.
What's in the cup?
Storm King. I almost swore then. I almost swore. Can we get on with this?
Yes, I'm pushing the envelope this morning so we have a really great guest. I'm excited to have Rachel, and you've got to be excited because I'm going to butcher her last name.
Of course you are.
I'm ready for it.
Oh, there she goes. From the outer spaces, Rachel wait, hold on. I have a way to introduce you. Hold on. Here we go. You ready?
Did you program a button?
Oh, yes.
All right, that's enough of that. We don't want to have to pay that money.
Oh, wait. Rachel, tell us the name of your nonprofit real quick.
It's called Living on a Prayer Co.
What is it?
Yeah.
I have more.
No, that's enough of that.
That's perfect.
One more time?
They will. No. They'll bankrupt this show with one phone call.
Yeah, no, but I think if we could do like one more time.
Now stop.
I might have to push that like 3 or 4 more times.
Because YouTube automatically will recognize that stuff.
Yeah, but only if I have X number of seconds, right?
Well, you've already done your X number.
Okay. Well, Rachel
what?
I have to look at it. You got to at least let me look at it.
Zelazny.
Zelazny.
It was very close. Good job.
It was very close. Good job. That's the way you pat a child on the head, though. Good job, buddy. I'm going to put that painting up on the refrigerator.
I've heard some people butcher my last name. That's usually how I can tell who's a telemarketer.
Is that? Okay, wait a second. This is one of the surprises. You have a statement on one of your socials that just cracked me up this morning when I looked.
Oh, dear.
So I'm not interested in your MLM products, Karen.
That's my Facebook page, my personal Facebook.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Dennis.
That made me laugh this morning.
We'll stalk people on their Facebook page.
It really helps.
To get just a little bit of inside info. So
when I get a random friend request from someone I went to high school with, I'm like, did you read my page?
Do you know anything about me? Do you ever ask anybody, why are you friending me? Like, why?
No, I just delete the request.
Oh, is that what you just delete everybody's request, don't you? Are you even on Facebook?
Yeah, I like.
Are Welshmen allowed on Facebook?
I like to go through occasionally and cull people. It's great fun.
Cull.
Couple of beers, go through and go, nope.
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 Not going to be your friend.
Friends from school that have tried to add me after 20 years. I'm like, get the.
I
having
still
a
remember
bad
when you
day.
gave me a swirly. We're not friends.
No, I don't do that stuff.
All right, Rachel. So we'll get to the serious part of the conversation, which is living on a prayer co. But before we do that, you're a Montrose native?
I was born here.
What?
Actually, a second generation. My mom lived in Norwood, but Montrose was the closest hospital. So she was born at Montrose Memorial, and so was I. And then my son was also born there.
Wait a second.
Absolutely out of context.
No, that was like, whoa.
Stop pressing that button.
I might have to press it like
So
5
you're
more
one
times
of,
in this
one
episode.
of one of the few people that we've had on that are actually born in Montrose.
Dave Frank was the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had there's been maybe over the 60 plus people we've had, maybe 3 or 4, I would think.
That's true. You guys should look it up and tell us
Yeah,
how many
go
people
on, yeah.
how many people are on the shows.
Nothing better to do. Go
I've
back
got
through all of our episodes.
hold on. I've got $20. I got a $20 gift card for anybody that can tell me how many Montrose natives we've interviewed.
The problem is we don't know, and I'm not going back through looking. So
May, will you
how do you
will you help me?
No.
May, will you help me out with this?
we're not tasking anybody else with that. No, somebody just call up, say 3. Dennis gives you $20.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be 970-316. No. Don't call. Leave it as a comment. Make sure you subscribe, do what all the things are they supposed to do?
Do the things that benefit us.
Yeah. And,
Subscribing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But don't leave comments or call or contact us in any way. Thanks.
wow. That feels depressing. Like right off. You're in a great mood
No,
this
it's
morning.
because we had a comment yesterday.
Yeah,
or
you didn't
day-
like the
other
comment.
day, some guy from Grand Junction, for a start, asking us why he should listen to the podcast. And I was like, don't. It's easy. I don't care.
Do you have to well, we need to get into your history a little bit.
let's do
So
that.
let's go back to
Yeah,
that.
we started when
I mean,
You started
with
out
your
right.
birth.
The population was way smaller when I was a kid.
When
Yeah, well, like Walmart was the end of town, and Walmart was where
Yeah.
Office Depot is now.
And like horse and carts and stuff. And
Wait, Walmart was where Office Depot is now?
Yeah, that building used to be Walmart when I was a
Wow.
kid.
That I did not know.
Yeah, and then they built the super center down the road, and then that became the edge of town. And then they put in the Target and the Hobby Lobby and the J.C. Penney's and everything down there.
How
But
long
that's the end of town now. That's the end.
Yeah,
How long
I don't
until
think they can
the
do
end of
much
town
more.
is Kelowna?
I don't know if they can
I think
do
Kelowna
that
is its own town.
Well, but I
That
mean,
has its
like,
own-
when they get connected.
Right,
I don't think
exactly.
they can.
Yeah.
I don't think they can.
you don't think it's
Well,
possible?
you've got the Ute Indian Museum and stuff. That's the nice little block.
And that kind of nicely
I think. Yeah.
dovetails.
Yeah, where like Otter Pond branches off, and
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
kind of the end of town.
Fine. Be that way. I was looking for massive expansion in Montrose.
We don't want that.
Well, it's expanding north now.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is true. It's going out the other
I
direction.
mean, it's expanding
quickly.
slowly in all directions, really, but hopefully not too fast. But I
just
don't
just
think
like the seams on that shirt are expanding slowly.
the thing
That
is,
was funny.
No.
That was funny.
was
But
a
here's the
little
thing:
funny.
you can't make a really bad joke and then just double down. That's not how.
I feel like I feel like I just did.
That's not how comedy works.
I feel like I just did, and it landed. It
it
landed.
only
It-
landed with you.
What? Who else does it matter if it lands to? Anyway, okay. Back to Rachel. Rachel, so
Fool.
you getting to livingonaprayer.co.
Yeah.
Just
You
saying.
are paying. If there's anything to be paid,
okay.
you're paying for it.
There's a pathway that you got to this project,
Yes.
and I was just looking it up.
man.
So you've been a caseworker with Montrose County. Is that correct?
Yeah. So long-term services and supports. So Medicaid has a specific program called Home and Community-Based Services. It's or Home Community, HCBS, and they basically it's an addition on your medical Medicaid that allows people to come into your home and do cleaning or meal prep, or people can come in and do personal care, and it helps keep people out of nursing homes.
Okay.
And it saves the state a ton of money because nursing homes are super expensive. And so they created this program. And so I was a case manager for that, and I really enjoyed it. And then I also was a case manager and intern counselor at the Delta County Jail. And I was a mental health case manager. And I've been a case manager all over the place.
And
so
you started a project in Delta County too called the Impact House?
I didn't start it. It was a program that was started under the place that I worked that shall not be named because it was a terrible, terrible place to work. And they burned it a ball of flame. But it was the Impact House, and they rehabilitated people for competency purposes. And so the judges and the state were super on board with Impact House. And so I kind of loosely based it on Impact House in the internals, where our 15 clients with living on a prayer co will I don't know, do you want to
we can go any direction you want to.
Rob wants HCBS a minute, though. Just explain a little bit more about what that is. So it's in-home care, but what kind of people are we talking about?
So we're talking, so there's I think 8 different waivers. There's a couple for children. And then there's, I think 5 for adults. And so one of the waivers is for traumatic brain injuries. One is for spinal cord injuries. The one I primarily worked with, because we live in a rural area and we have a lack of providers, was the elderly, blind, and disabled waiver.
Okay.
And so we mostly worked with elderly and disabled folks, but, in that people can choose which waiver they go on.
Okay.
And so because we have a lack of providers, you would get all kinds of people who maybe did have spinal cord injuries, or maybe did have traumatic brain injuries, or maybe did have other disabilities that went on the elderly, blind, and disabled waiver. And so a lot of times you would see people who were super mentally ill, who couldn't keep their house clean, and they would have people come in and help clean their house, which was like a great support to have. And super important, and I wish it was kind of more widespread, to be honest.
Is that something that you feel as being close to it? Like, how do we solve that problem? Do we need to be recruiting people from like other communities or the Front Range? If we have a shortage in services in Montrose, like
some of it is that
how do we fix
Medicaid
that?
doesn't pay well.
Okay.
Medicaid pays per service, so in that service, they're paying just for materials used for the procedure, like if it's a procedure, and for the doctor's time, but they're not paying for the overhead cost of the facility. They're not paying for like the workman's comp that you have to have for your employees. They're not paying for all the overhead information and cost. So Medicaid just doesn't pay a whole lot. And actually, I was in a call not very long ago, and a lot of people from the city were in it too. And the major complaint from all the people in Montrose, and it was kind of like a Western Slope regional, but there were like 10 people from Montrose. It was kind of crazy. And everyone was just like, you're not paying enough for us to get providers down here. And so we have a shortage of providers, and we have a shortage of people that can accurately, like, I know quite a few people who are disabled who have to go all the way to Denver because that's the closest place for services. And that's a long drive if you're disabled. And there's a lot of barriers in order to get to Denver. If you even have family that's supportive, if you even have, you know, the time, because some people still have to work.
Well, there's a cost too as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it costs money to get to these places.
Absolutely.
It's a little crazy that Denver is the closest place for some people. Just for those, I mean, everyone presumably watching knows how far Denver is, but it's a 5, maybe even a 6-hour drive. In winter, it's treacherous. It's incredible that there are not better or more service providers closer to Montrose.
And there can be closures for us to get over to Denver.
They'll
which
close
has
the
been
passes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Eisenhower Tunnel or Glenwood Canyon. I mean, you know, horrific. But is that HCBS, right? Is it still active, though, in Montrose?
Yes, it's still active. It's a county program.
Okay.
So the Department of Human Services handles that, and they have quite a few case managers, and they have an amazing team. Like, they have an amazing leader, and I really enjoyed that job. But I was getting sick myself when I was working. And if you want, we can talk about burnout. But I had been, for 10 years, I had worked full-time and had multiple part-time jobs and been in school full-time, and I had my son full-time. And so I burnt out so incredibly that I was cognitively impaired. And right before I burned out completely, I got a wild hair up my butt and decided I wanted to move to Denver because I could make more as a case manager, because really Here, case managers tap out at $20 an hour. In Denver, you can make $55 a year. And so I decided to move to Denver. And I wanted to pursue better treatments because I knew I was sick, but we couldn't figure out what it was, because burnout feels a lot like depression. And what it is your neural pathways are dying. And so you're losing cognition, you're losing the ability to regulate your emotions, you're losing the ability to self-motivate, you're losing the ability to just handle a lot of different aspects of your life. And so I was getting sicker and sicker, and I needed treatment because antidepressants wouldn't touch it. And therapy only did so much. And I was exhausted all the time. Like the minute I got home, I went to bed. My son ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner far more often than I would like to care to admit. So,
and when was this? When did you move to Denver?
No, I moved on New Year's of 2024.
Okay.
And then I officially completely burned out on March 16th.
Of this year?
Of 2024.
Okay, 24, sorry. But that's, a year and a half or so.
Yeah, well, it was like 6 weeks that I lived in Denver, or that I had a job before I burned out completely. And then I lost my job because I couldn't work because I was so cognitively impaired.
Right.
And so I lost my job, and I lost my apartment, and I retained custody by the skin of my teeth by sending him to stay with my parents. And I put myself to work. I worked on getting better. I put myself in therapies that really rehabilitated my cognition. And I very slowly got better. My therapist was like, dude, you did like 4 years of work in 6 months. And so I went to work, and then I started volunteering with the unhoused because I've always had a soft spot for the unhoused population. I've always been one of those case managers where they gave me the most difficult clients because that was what I enjoyed doing, and I could get through to them. And so I got a lot of unhoused clients. Then they're extremely difficult to deliver services to because you never know where they're going to be. And so I started volunteering, and I saw that they were cognitively impaired, and I started doing research because I'd already been doing research into like why I burned out and the neural pathways and neurogenesis and interesting stuff with the brain, right? And so I made that connection, and I started doing research, and 65% of unhoused individuals have cognitive impairments that affect their processing speed. 65%.
Yeah.
So then we're expecting them to just go out and get a job when they can't regulate their emotions, they can't keep track of a schedule, they can't, learn or process the information that is being given to them.
Right. And on top of that, they don't have a place to live.
Correct.
Like it's the ultimate kind of crappy situation.
And they're fighting weather, and they're fighting other people who may have ill intentions, and they're trying to cope.
Right.
And a lot of that coping leads to substance use disorders. And so it's...
So is in your opinion, is a big part of the cognitive impairment part of what people describe as like, hey, this person that's unhoused, is it unhoused instead of homeless?
So I've actually gotten this question quite a few times. So most people I know that are unhoused do not care what you call them. They don't care if it's unhoused. They don't care if it's homeless. I don't think it's so much a political correctness thing. I really consider it more of a unhoused is a broader encompassing of the spectrum that is homelessness.
Right.
Because some people live in RVs, and that's still technically considered being homeless.
Right.
And some people are crashing on couches, which is still considered being homeless.
Right.
But they're not unhoused.
Right.
They have a place to go.
Right.
And so unhoused is kind of just like a broader spectrum.
Like if you don't have a roof over your head, you're unhoused.
Yeah, you're unsheltered.
Yeah.
Well,
right. Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, I want to go back to the question. The question that I was trying to ask was, is that cognitive impairment what people describe as this person wants to be, in this situation? They don't want to either get help or go through a program, and this should lead us into...
Or they go through a program and immediately relapse.
And they end up back in it. Right. Do you think that that's a big part of that we just don't understand right now? Is that like, it's not that this person wants to be in this situation, it's that, there's an underlying problem there that they can't make those connections.
Yeah, well, let's be very clear. There are some people who very much enjoy the lifestyle and very much do want to stay unhoused and like being transient. Right. That's
and I think it's important
enjoy.
that not only that you said that, we've had other people on the show that have said similar things. It is important to recognize that some people do.
Some people it's a
actually
choice.
not only, maybe not enjoy is the right word, right? But it's their lifestyle, and they want to be like that. But what percentage are we talking about? It's small.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably less than 10%.
Right. So let's focus on the 90% of people that don't want to be in that situation, but can't, for various reasons, get themselves out of that. And that's where I guess brings us very neatly.
Where we come into living on a prayer code.
Right. So I'm gonna say something, because you just mentioned something that was a stat that I wanted to share, and I'm not sure that everybody knows this, but in 2024 there was a 30% increase in homelessness, as it's reported by the U.S. Housing and Urban Development for the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that
we're in the top 4 states.
You just stole my fact.
Oh, sorry.
Where'd you get the fact from? Did you get it from her website?
No, I didn't get it from her website.
No,
but
it's not on my website.
it's so
that's shocking.
That was the shocking thing. I did not realize that we were in the top 5 in the country in homelessness.
Yeah.
So, but here's what, contrary to what you just said, in that report, it says that these stats don't include shared, like shared domiciles, or shared, like they're living with somebody else. You said maybe even living with family or whatnot.
So those are just unsheltered people.
Or couch surfing, or
so we're actually talking about genuine, legitimate people who do not have that phrase, a roof over their head. They sleep outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's shocking.
So here's the thing that I didn't. Here's another thing that I didn't know. But I think I see this in Montrose, that housing instability is common in people ages 18 to 24.
Right.
Yes.
And so, meaning that they're transient in their homes, like they're not homeless, but they don't have a stable house, like, you know.
Right. Yeah. At any given moment, they could be susceptible to being homeless.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, how that affects everything else in their life, and this is something that is on your website, just talking about your basic needs, right? And when you don't have that, when you don't have that stability for your basic needs in your life, how that affects everything else.
Or even if you know that at any moment those basic needs might be taken away from you.
Yes.
You could be. I read something the other day that said the average American in the whole country, the average American wouldn't be able to survive a $1,000 bill. Doesn't have money.
They don't have enough
money to pay for $1,000 car repair. That's it. They're done. They don't have a car in an instant. And that must be incredibly stressful to go through your life. Even if you have a job, you have somewhere to live, to know that at any moment you could be on the street because the rent is due in 2 weeks.
So I had a medical emergency and I lost everything. And I took out payday loans so that I could keep my apartment long enough before I got evicted cycle for my son to get out of school.
Was a downward spiral?
It was. It was a vicious cycle.
So
ended up in a lot of debt.
Right.
So one more thing before we get into, we're establishing the need for the program.
We had a great
I also have more statistics.
We had a great little segue going a second ago, and you threw another question in there, which is fine. But like we had a great flow going.
Okay, well, go ahead.
No, it's too late now. You ruined it. Let's get a couple more facts while you have a piece of paper there.
Okay. So there was a 69% increase in family homelessness from 22 to 23. But between 23 and 24, it increased 134%.
That was specifically
for families.
For families.
Is that in the U.S. or in Colorado?
In Colorado. Just Colorado.
Yeah. I had that stat too.
Yeah.
I was doing some homework today.
Yeah, you were.
Well, the other thing too about Colorado is it gets cold here.
Yeah.
It gets very
cold.
cold.
At this time of year now, we are starting to move into fall, but we all know what it's like. Montrose is relatively mild, but I mean, still, you don't want to sleep outside. And in other parts of the state, it's cold. And so that just compounds the issue as well, right?
So this is super visible in our neighbor in Grand Junction. Yeah. They've closed down parks. They've built buildings. They've done a lot for it.
Well, and they lost their resource center due to a change in politicians.
Yeah.
I believe during their election. And so their resource center got shut down this year.
So we've had scenarios where people have tried to take it upon themselves to help out in our community here. So let's talk about Living Prayer
Let's talk about Living on a Prayer Co.
Yeah, Living on a Prayer Co. And so tell me about the program. Tell me about the funds that you're trying to raise for the building that you'd like to be able to build.
Okay.
And just to get some of the facts that I know about it out.
Yeah.
You want to build a shared living facility, 15 beds, working, shared kitchen, an environment where they can get treatment and have resources, treatment in-house. So, sorry, I don't want to steal the rest of it, but that's how what I understand is part of the project.
So we're trying to build a 15-bed rehabilitation facility, and it's not going to be a shelter. A shelter just meets basic needs. A rehabilitation facility is meant for the rehabilitation and treatment aspect. So that's really what we're trying to do. And so it'll be 15 beds, and we'll be doing substance use treatment. We'll be doing dialectical behavioral therapy. We'll be doing a therapy called neurofeedback. That's really, really interesting and is a non-invasive therapy that helped rehabilitate my nervous system from trauma. It was fantastic and helps rebuild your neural pathways. And so we'll be doing a variety of treatments, basically 4 days a week, and then with a rest day. And the weekend, obviously, for these guys. But we'll be doing 3 different cohorts. So we'll have what's called acuity, which is the severity of their disorders. And so we'll have a high acuity group of 5, a low acuity group of 5, and a medium acuity group of 5. And they'll receive their treatments based on where they're at and how severe their needs are. But they'll have personalized treatment plans. They'll each have a case manager. And we'll have 3 wraparound case managers that help them get on the HCBS program, because we'll be considered an alternative living facility, and we'll get paid per diem through that program per client. That's one of the ways that we're going to survive.
Okay. So that people understand too, or let me back up a second.
Yeah.
Do you have the property acquired already where you want to build this facility, or is that part of the next steps as well?
That's part of the next steps.
Okay.
So right now we're working with Dave Frank to try and get in with the Colorado opioid abatement. Mr. Mayor.
Friend of the show.
Yeah. And a friend of mine. I love that guy. With the Colorado Opioid Abatement Council and the Southwest Opioid Abatement Regional Council. So, and they have some funding opportunities that would be incredibly lucrative if we could achieve that. Okay.
So
would a facility like this, do you feel like this is something that needs to be centrally located to the town, or would you prefer it to be, somewhat removed?
I would prefer it to be a little bit outside of town. And Dave and I actually talked about that, about how if you put it outside of town, it's less likely that they will be able to walk to meet their dealer or relapse.
Right.
And so having it, because it's going to be a place of healing. Like, we'll have gardens, everyone will cook together to the best of their abilities, everyone will clean together, we'll be doing life skills. So it'll really be like kind of an intrinsic teamwork between these 15 folks.
Will you be integrated into things like, if you don't have a driving license, you'll facilitate that?
Yep, that's what case management's going to do, is get all their documentation.
And various whatever social security that they might be entitled to. And so it's a very holistic, kind of all round. So the idea is that 15 people go in with various issues, and then 15 people come out ready to join. I don't know what's the best way to phrase it.
So it'll be like a 12 to 18 month long program.
Okay.
And just because it takes time to heal a nervous system, it takes time to process the trauma, it takes time to rehabilitate from the substance use disorder, and it takes time to come to terms with everything they've been through. Right. And some people may not be able to come back because I'm expecting that we'll probably have a certain level of people with schizophrenia. Dementia is super underdiagnosed in this population. And so I'm expecting that we may have people who are not able to live independently, but they will be assessed at the end of the program for whether they can live independently. And if they can, they'll move into their own place with a case manager to help them make sure that their smoke alarms are working, make sure their rent is paid, make sure that people are coming in and helping them clean, make sure that they have the support they need to live independently. Because really, we have to treat all these folks like they're disabled. Right. And so if they can't live independently, we're going to create a program like what we do for disabled adults, where we have a host home that helps manage their medication, make sure they're eating, make sure they go on community outings, make sure that they're okay. and have a family-style support environment that they need in order to thrive.
So, I mean, I don't want to dwell on the negative, but you are expecting a certain percentage of people to not be able to complete the program, or at least
most of it's going to be voluntary.
Yeah.
We're hoping that we can get in with 7th Judicial and maybe have this be an alternative sentencing option.
Okay.
And so instead of being sentenced to jail or prison, they would be sentenced to our program instead for rehabilitation. And in that case, they would have to complete the program according to their sentencing.
And if during that period of time, staff that are there feel like they may not be able to live independently, what's the next step for them from there?
Well, then they'll be assessed to go to a host home. And these host homes, we do this for disabled adults already, like folks that have Down syndrome and can't live with their families, or folks that have severe autism and can't live with their families. Because sometimes your emotions when you live with your family are so intense that the caregiver just gets burnt out.
Right.
And so this host home is just a very generous home that gets paid to take care of these folks. And they get paid well to do it.
Do they get paid by the government, though, through various
They would get
programs?
paid by us, and we would get paid by Medicaid to administrate the program.
Okay. You said 15. It doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, obviously, to build a facility is a big ask. But does 15 represent the number of people in Montrose that need this kind of help? Or is it way off?
I know that Miriam at Shepherd's Hand said that she's got at least 10 that she can name off the top of her head that need these kind of services.
Okay.
Because we're dealing with like the sickest of the sick.
Right.
You know, we're dealing with the folks that are talking to themselves as they're walking down the street, or are a risk to businesses or themselves.
So, but we're not talking about Montrose as dozens and dozens or hundreds of people who might, the sickest of the sick. But,
we're talking about a small percentage of people who are at risk to themselves and others.
Okay.
And so...
But those are people that have been identified without a program to go to existingly.
Well, so. There are people who don't do well in jail and get released because jail can't meet their needs, and they have nowhere to go. They can't go to rehab because rehab can't meet their needs.
Right.
And so they just kind of cycle in and out of the system.
And in Montrose, there's nothing... I suppose I should ask, but is there, like... these people who, when their needs are not met in prison or other places like that, is there somewhere they can go right now to have somebody help them get a driving license and social security? Or is, I guess I'm asking...
What are the existing programs?
Yeah, what are the existing programs, and how badly is this facility or this program that you're proposing, how badly is it needed?
In my opinion, I think it is desperately needed. A lot of these folks, they can go to Shepherd's Hand and receive some case management. Right. There are some volunteer case managers who've been trained at Shepherd's Hand that like to help people out. But to a certain degree, they can't be holding their hand because they're volunteers and they don't have time. Right. So they can't pick someone up and take them down to the driver's license place and make sure that they have their identification and hold their hand while they do it. Right. And the thing is that these folks really do need their hands held. Right. Which is one of the reasons we did Living on a Prayer. Take my hand and we'll make it, I swear. Right. So that's why we're bringing services to them. And that's why we're doing things in-house. That's why we're going to have wraparound case management to make sure that these things are taken care of and everything is in place. And make sure that they are prepared for the next step of life and that they're meeting their probation or parole requirements, and make sure that everything is just where it needs to be in order to have a functional life. Because I feel like we take for granted, right, that we all have like a driver's license and we have our birth certificate and we know where that is, and nobody has stolen it because it's safe in our house and we have a door that we can shut and lock. Right. And these folks don't. And so their stuff gets stolen all the time. And they maybe haven't filed taxes in 7 years because their identity got stolen. Right. And so there's a lot to unwrap when you're trying to help these folks. There's a lot of layers to helping them get their stuff situated.
So where does the program sit now? Like how close are you to funding?
If you had a big red, like the big red
thermometer,
where are we on that? How much?
Depending on how the funding sources go next month, we would be about halfway to 3/4 there.
And where is all the way? What's 100% look like in terms of a monetary value that you require?
We estimated it at about $2.1 million.
And that will build the
But
facility.
that's build the facility
and
in the
get-
first year of operations.
Okay.
And all of the furniture, all of the office supplies.
Right.
I'm very detailed in my budget. My
Okay.
bachelor's is a business degree.
Okay.
So I was
And
very
you can
prepared for this.
you can see this on livingonaprayerco.org, right? That's the
Yeah,
website.
I don't think I have the budget up there.
Okay.
I can probably get it up there if people are interested. So if you're
But you
interested,
can
make sure
donate.
you comment.
But you can donate if you go to livingonaprayerco.org.
Yes, you can
Okay.
donate. You can do recurring donations. Those are really helpful if you do small recurring donations, because then we can kind of strategize our bills, because we do have bills between running the website and doing ads on socials, although there are so many resources for nonprofits. And that's also something I'm really passionate about on Living on a Prayer Co. On our socials, is I like to share resources for other nonprofits as well.
Well, I greatly appreciate the fact that you're trying to make a difference in a scenario that we all see in Montrose. So thank you for the work that you're doing there. I didn't realize you and I shared this scenario. You have experienced homelessness at some point in your life. I did when I was in high school. I was actually part of, I was sent to a halfway house, got out of a halfway house, and during that period of time, like I was homeless for a brief period of time, because I was one of those people that are in that 18 to 24, and it's like weird to try to get on a lease
Well, try and get
your
a
first
job
rental. Yep.
when you don't have any credit, and nobody takes you seriously. And if they have to choose between renting to a fresh-faced 18-year-old or a 26-year-old professional who's already established.
Yeah, it's no competition, right?
Yeah, it's no competition.
So it's a difficult thing I think that for people that, just so you understand, one of the reasons why I was excited about having you on was to also bring up the fact that outside of chemical dependency, outside of disabilities, we still have a factor of our young people here in Montrose, graduating high school.
Yeah.
And then finding themselves potentially in a situation where it's like difficult, like that instability.
Where there's no housing.
Right. So I feel like there's more things. So when we need more multi-family housing, or multi-unit housing facilities.
There's layers to it. So I work with the Solutions for the Unhoused group here in town, and they're just a group of citizens that come up with solutions and do work on policy and do work on social media and awareness. And it's a really great group. We meet on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. And we we basically just meet and try to come up with the different layers of solutions, but that we need multifamily housing for families. We also need low-income housing that's available for people who are low income or elderly or disabled and have limits on how much they can work, or limitations on how much they can earn because they're just starting out and they're working in fast food, and minimum wage doesn't pay anything. Right. And so we need a variety of solutions, and we need, I appreciate that the city tries to encourage more subdivisions to be created, but most of the apartments that have been created have been expensive. Base camp is expensive for someone who is low income. They can't afford that.
But there is a project that just got finished behind the rec center. That's
they have a certain amount of low income units, but only like 10.
Right.
And they're building a second project directly behind it. So one of the reasons
there will be more.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I brought it up, though, I want you to remember when you're concerned about some of these projects going in, and I know that we all want to preserve our views of the mountains and preserve the fact that we tried to move to a rural place, but still the fact is, we have children in this community that are going to be young adults soon, and they want to find their place here. And so when you start thinking about like, oh, I don't want that big project built near me, let's find a solution. Don't just be like, not next to me.
Right.
We
Otherwise,
still
they're
need
gonna
the
move.
housing.
They're going to leave Montrose, and our community is going to suffer for it.
It will, because
We're not going to have young families, and we're going to age out.
a lot of the people that are serving you your coffee, serving you your food when you're out, that quality of life that we have here is facilitated by a rotation of people that are younger people getting started in their careers. And so I just encourage people to not, to think about that. Sometimes we get to a little bit in our own backyard and not paying attention to like the needs of the community as a whole.
Selfish is the word you're looking for.
Well, I was trying not to be. So on a complete.
there are people who are a little bit selfish and they only think about what's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a community.
Yep.
And
We
I
have to
understand.
look out for each other.
I can understand to a degree why somebody might not want some kind of facility next to their house, but think about it. It's got to go somewhere. These people have a right to be treated, like human beings, and to have a place to stay and all that stuff. I get it, but there's a bigger picture than just you and your house.
Right. Be a solution person. Offer a solution, and not just the issue of the problem.
Well, and that's one of the reasons we're trying to be so transparent is because our facility has to go somewhere, and more than likely it'll go somewhere outside of town, somewhere close to some residences.
Right.
And we want to prevent any residents from being super upset or feeling like they're in danger because we are the buffer between the unhoused demographic and our community.
Speaking of somebody that I feel like is unselfish and very sweet, and I didn't realize we had as
this isn't about me. Let's
no,
talk about
no. as I didn't realize we had as a common friend, and hopefully would be a friend of the show at some point if she ever saw this, is Amy Reeves Robinson. I didn't.
Do you know that's my cousin?
I did not know that. I had here relationship question mark.
Yeah, she's my cousin. She's 18 years older than me, but she's my best friend.
She is one of the sweetest ladies.
She's an amazing human being. She's been my mentor in so many ways.
So hopefully I'll share this or get it to her, or you can get it to her. So Amy, it's been a long time. I think the last time we talked was at the Proximity co-working space years ago. So I hope you're doing well, and it was cool to see that we have people in common. So
yeah, that's exciting.
One of the other things that you said on your socials that I really liked, and I feel like this is kind of a good kind of like wrapping up part to this, is learn how to crash gracefully.
Yeah.
That I don't know why, but that spoke to me. Like, I think that's something that I try to explain to my daughter and to my friends in a vast scenario of things, right? Like, mine is like, learn from your failures. Your failures are part of your experience in life. Like, you need them to be there. Everything can't be an Instagram, like success story, like, video. So you've got to be able to learn, accept those failures that are going to come into your life and learn from them and build from them. But learn to crash gracefully. That I hadn't heard that, and that was great. What does that mean to you?
Well, I'm one of those people that I've never enjoyed perfectionism. And I really enjoy the nitty gritty parts of life. I really enjoy the kind of like dirty parts that make people better people. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all part of it. It's all part of the balance. And so if you crash gracefully, you're going to crash, period. Like it's going to happen in life. Nobody can just succeed on the up and up, but you're going to crash. And so you have to learn how to support yourself,
right,
and how to be there for yourself, and how to help yourself process and move forward and pick yourself up.
Yes, I mean it's a huge life skill, right?
It is
being able to, nobody can completely survive without the help of others, but understanding that certain circumstances, you can deal with it. Yeah. We can all deal with certain circumstances, but having that ability to be able to pick yourself up and not necessarily have to rely on other people all the time is such a life skill that I think you can only really get that by going through some trauma, by making mistakes and being in situations that are really not that comfortable. And then suddenly the next time is not so difficult because, well, you've done it once, or the thing I did before was much more difficult than this. And then it's just a matter of perspective, right? In some regards.
Yeah. I think it's also, for me, one of the reasons why it connected to me is like the acceptance of this. Like you shouldn't, I get so frustrated with watching people only share the successes, all
the shiny, pretty stuff.
Right. And because you think that's what people want to see, right? But the reality is people don't want to feel alone in the moments that they have failed.
Yeah.
And the reality is everybody that everybody, I don't care what situation they're in, how far, you think that they've made it or what their life looks good as compared to what looks good to you. They've failed at some point in time and figured out a way out of it. So yeah, for me, it's just paying attention to saying, like, hey, you're not alone in these moments, and it's not that bad. Like, the bad part is staying in it.
Yeah.
Pick yourself up.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
move forward from it.
It's also worth remembering that when we talk about like where this facility is going to go, and you know the people, whoever they are, and you know, hopefully there are not too many detractors, but the idea that if you're really upset about having this place nearby or in Montrose or whatever, have a little think about your life too, and times when you needed help.
Yeah.
Because like you said, everybody has been in that situation in one way or another, and have a little kind of empathy and not just blanket, well, I'm okay now. You know, I've got this and I've got that, so I'm going to pull the ladder up.
Right.
You know, just think about the fact that, remember that time when you needed, it might have been 20 years ago, but a kindly stranger helped you do this, that, or the other. That's what they need. You know, a little...
They need a helping hand.
A little sympathy and empathy.
And I don't want people to get the wrong impression. We have a lot of caring people that volunteer a lot of their time.
Absolutely.
We do. I have a lot of volunteers already that have just made this process so much easier.
Rob's one of those people. He volunteers a lot of his time. As much as he gives this persona on the show that he doesn't care about people, he does volunteer a lot of his time to help a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. Me, on the other hand, I'm pretty selfish. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I only enjoy making fun of Rob. That's the thing that really helps me.
This is what I don't like. What you've done now.
What's that?
Is you put me in a position where I have to pay you a compliment, and I don't appreciate you doing that to me.
No, I'm waiting for it.
Dennis isn't a hey.
I don't appreciate owing you
He does.
a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. You are one of those guys. You
That was slick, right? It's good. It's
not
manipulative.
slick, it's sneaky.
It's sneaky.
Dennis does good things for people too. That's it. I'm not going in.
He's not going to go any further than that.
No.
All right. Well, Rachel, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Absolutely.
and sharing. Before we let you go, I just want to ask, since you are a native of Montrose, what is something, and since you're doing serious work to seriously help our community, what is something frivolous that you feel like Montrose really needs? What is something that...
I think you're hoping that I'm going to say Chick-fil-A.
You've watched the show.
I have.
No Chick-fil-A. Sorry.
Okay, well...
I would like a Michael's, actually.
Oh, as opposed to Hobby Lobby.
I'm not a fan of Hobby Lobby.
Me neither.
Okay.
And
I don't
so
like them either.
I would love a Michael's, actually.
I used to work for Michael's.
Did you?
That's
so funny.
I helped Mike.
Are you artistic?
No, I don't know. Look at it.
Yeah, what you said is I don't know, which you don't know.
He's a big lumbering buffoon.
Okay, well, you have to find out. I may or may not be artistic.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know what Michael's was. It's a Hobby Lobby alternative, but I guess one with a conscience.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Oh, is that okay?
I've never been in Hobby Lobby.
So
And
Every time I go to Junction, I have to stop at Michael's.
I don't eat Chick-fil-A for the same reason.
Same.
do you know that we're getting a second boba tea place in Montrose?
No,
I didn't know that.
I do love boba tea.
Yeah, boba tea is a thing, man. I didn't know it was a thing,
I know it's a thing.
but it's a thing,
Yeah.
and people are excited about
What's
it.
my
really
my
funny-
11-year-old is excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you ever had boba?
I love Montrose, but you know, we're in rural kind of western Colorado. And sometimes it takes things a little while to filter down here.
Yeah,
I'd rather get a pho place
Boba
than
tea.
get a boba place.
Yeah, boba tea has been around. I mean, it's been around a long, long time.
I could see. Have you tried
Pho
the
would
new
be
food
the
truck at the association?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Misos?
so good.
So good.
They're
I could
so
see them
good.
doing
So good.
pho.
They do.
Pho?
It's pho for a start,
Pho.
which you know that. You know
Fee,
that.
fi, fo, foo,
Miss
pho.
It's very good.
Miso.
Just stop making
Miso.
noises. Just stop making noises. Speak
Okay.
like a human being.
Oh wait, no, I like this noise better. Hold on. Oh,
Now I
that way I just mixed two
Do
sounds.
you know what? Now I understand why I consume alcohol on this. You're hard to deal with just coffee.
That's probably true.
You could get.
I
I don't know how
shot in your
I don't know
coffee.
how my wife does it.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
This is infuriating.
I'm sorry, Nicole.
You know, there's nothing telling you that you can't put alcohol in your coffee.
That's true.
You're an adult. You can
Yeah.
do what you want.
You can,
We still have this left from the time David Fishering came on.
yeah. Speaking
And
of
I haven't
David,
touched it in a year because I learned my lesson that day.
speaking of David, I hope you heal fast, man. He had a recent knee injury in a
I
hiking.
know he did.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, but he
He's
wasn't
walking-
like hiking a crevasse. He was crawling out
Oh,
of a
what?
tent. Don't worry about words you don't know. He crawled out of a tent and like tore his meniscus because he's an old man.
Yeah, that's that. See, he's just. I resemble that remark, so I feel bad for him. All right, so last question before you go. Who is somebody that you would like to see come sit? By the way, you said you like the Wheelie Nice couch.
I
It's
do
comfortable.
like the Wheelie Nice couch.
It's-
It is comfortable.
It's going away though.
Oh,
We'll have a
no.
wheelie nice. Put wheels on anything.
The
We'll
studio.
get-
The
we'll get
studios.
Nathan to put wheels on something else.
Oh yeah, you guys might be moving.
We may be relocating the studio.
Oh,
That could be exciting news.
Yeah.
We're not ready to tell you yet, but
No.
it's coming. It's
I love it.
possible.
We're trying to build up tension like
Yeah.
anyone out there gives a rat's whatever.
They might.
No, they don't.
They might. Okay, so my question was going to
Yeah.
be who would you like to
Does it have
see?
to be someone from the community?
No.
Okay, 'cause
Rob wants it to be, but I'm okay with it.
I like the idea that it's WKRP Montrose, and so somebody with a connection to Montrose. Is
Well, I
kinda-
want to see Amy, my cousin.
Oh,
see my cousin Amy.
she would
on
be
this couch.
fantastic.
She would be fantastic. Well, and not only that, but
Does she come to visit
her side
anymore?
of the family? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Her mom still lives here.
Okay.
So her grandfather was Frank Reeves that owned a store on Main Street called Reeves, and you could see before they repainted it with the sunflower mural, you could see the old Reeves sign that was painted on that wall. And so her family has like heckin' history here.
That would be a crazy cool mural to do kind of a funky like view of old Montrose as it was as a mural.
Yeah.
On a wall. You're not impressed with that idea.
It's I suppose it's okay.
I mean, it would depend on the artist. It would be kind of cool to see it in like a watercolor
Yeah.
version.
Yeah. You're grumpy as all get out over there. I don't think we should do morning episodes anymore.
Me neither.
Yeah. Like you're
I mean, he tried, but
You
he
know
did
what?
try. Down.
Do you know why we're doing
Oh.
it? You know why we're doing it this morning? Because I had something else to do this afternoon. Scheduled this.
Right.
The thing in the afternoon got cancelled. Could have done this at 2:00. It would have been awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, you have a really cool side hustle right now
Oh,
that we were talking
do.
about,
We were
and I
talking
do
about
want to
it.
hear about this before. But I know I said I'd let you go, but I want to hear the story real quick.
Okay.
You work at a custom
vintage
motorcycle shop.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us the name of the shop. We'll give them a free plug here real quick.
It's called Humble's Vintage Motorcycles. Marty Humble is the owner, and he lives up to the Humble name. He is the most humble guy I know. He's super cool.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so we should get Marty on the show because I would
Marty
like
would
to.
be cool.
I would love to hear more about the vintage cycles that he's working on.
Yeah.
Over there. That's pretty cool.
Over
Yeah.
there, as in over where? Where is the shop?
So the shop is across the street from Flower Subaru, next to Valley Crane, and kind of over by Caliber Collision.
Oh, wow.
Flower Subaru. Those guys are pretty cool.
Yeah, we like those guys.
They're all right.
They're all right. But yeah, Marty, he started out fixing bikes in an apple shed up in Cedar Edge. And then his wife came down to work for the county, so they moved down here, and he opened his brick and mortar in 2018.
What do you do for them?
Administrative work.
Okay.
I just
right.
I
You're
do
not
the
turning
invoicing
wrenches or
and I
anything.
find parts, and no, I
Okay.
find parts. But I do have a motorcycle though.
What kind of motorcycle do you have?
It's a 1979 Honda Goldwing conversion to a muscle bike.
Okay.
Like they took the old man fairings off of it and turned it into almost like a cafe racer.
Yeah.
And it's hot pink.
And it's hot pink.
And her name is Frida.
When do we
After
see?
Frida Kahlo.
When do we?
Oh,
really?
Okay, good.
When do we get to see you riding around on that?
You can probably catch me riding around town.
Well, we won't miss it now. Now we'll know it's you if it's
Yeah,
a hot
you'll know it's
pink
me.
muscle bike.
I feel like you should be in the Christmas parade or something. Like-
Humble's is usually in the Christmas parade. We
Okay.
were last year, so I mean, I might ride this year. I didn't have my bike last year, so maybe I will.
All right.
I'm in case you're not wondering, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm trying to grow the beard out because I want to volunteer to be Santa this year for something. I don't know why that became a thing, but the beard got big and unruly, and I thought I'd just see if I can last until Christmas.
I dig it.
All right.
Is that?
I don't
all
think
right.
you will. I don't think you'll be able to do it.
You don't think I can hang in there?
No. Here's the thing: reverse psychology works on Dennis.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
Should we get a bet going? Like, I'll pay if I can't make it to Christmas, and if I do, then somebody else makes a donation to a nonprofit.
If you make it, somebody has to have you be Santa.
Oh,
But the
okay.
city,
There we go.
You can
If
be
not, I'll
the
make
Santa.
it. If I don't do it, if I can't make it, I'll make a donation to said nonprofit. If somebody wants me to volunteer as a Santa
and
for
you
Christmas,
don't make it.
and I don't make it like leaving the beard to grow out, so I'll make a donation.
Deal.
All right.
So you guys got to tell me which one though.
We'll figure
Like,
it
leave
out.
a comment.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for showing up and being on the couch. We hope to talk to you again soon. I'm sure there'll be a reason to have you back.
Sure.
And Amy, if you're out there
I'm
and
going to
you're
make
listening,
her listen.
you've been called out, as well as the Humble's
Yep.
shop.
Humble's Vintage Motorcycles.
Yeah, Humble's Vintage Motorcycles.
That's cool. We'll get them on. Those bikes look awesome. I'm just looking at their social media pages.
All right, everybody. That's been another episode of WKRP. We will talk to you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, call in 970-316-3162. Leave us a message. I'm just waiting to play one, on the radio, because otherwise you're going to have to listen to this all day.
Stop. That's too much.
Is that too much?
Yeah.
No? That was
YouTube,
perfect.
Hey, YouTube might have something to say about that.
That's true. I don't want to have to do a whole lot of editing.
No.
Let me use it, please. All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon.